we have a very, very special guest in the Not Ice portion of the Empty Netters podcast today. We are honored to be joined by Eva Erickson, the runner-up of Survivor 48 and the first openly autistic person in Survivor history. Eva, and club hockey legend.
Club hockey legend, hater of wet socks.
Yeah.
Dominant hockey player on...
Where did you get a hater of wet socks? How do you just know that? Like, what?
Listen, we do our research here, okay? And I'm with you. I actually went for a run the other day, and it was raining out here in LA, and I got wet socks, and I wanted to die the whole time.
Let me just add, too, it was raining here in LA yesterday for the first time in a billion years, and we had a crazy day. We were scrambling all around, and then we were going to the Ducks home opener, and my feet got wet in the rain during the day, and I never got to change. And then we went to the rink, and that was the coldest rink I've ever been in my life. And the wet socks was a real problem.
It's a miracle you don't have frostbite.
I thought I was going to get frostbite.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, Eva Erickson, welcome to the Empty Netters podcast. How are you?
I'm pumped to be here. This is so fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're thrilled that you're here. I want to start off with the hockey journey and hear your story about how you got so into hockey, because as people can see, your background, we've got amazing jerseys hanging all over the place. You're a collector. This is fantastic. Was it just being from Minnesota that got you into hockey immediately, or is your family super dialed in hockey as well?
I mean, my earliest memory was learning to skate. Like, that's how deep it goes into my, like, being as a human, is that, like, first thing I remember is being out on the pond with my dad and having him teach me to skate. And so I just, like, wanted to play hockey because, the culture, Minnesota, like, that's what it's all about. Like, I started playing hockey when I was 5 years old. And so it's just, like, all the way up. Like, all of my friends played hockey. We were, like, this tight group, got to play in some, like, amazing places, playing at the XL Energy Center for the, like, state tournament in high school. And you know how big that is in Minnesota. Like, it's just, that is something that's carried me through. And also it was just, like, a huge, like, fixation for me because, like you said, I have autism and I get very fixated on specific things. And so hockey has always been that, like, special interest of mine. So whether I'm playing, I'm reffing, or watching, like, that's what, like, I'm all about. So then, going to college, being the first and only girl to play on the men's club hockey team at Georgia Tech. I got a jersey right back there for that one.
Yeah, I love it.
That was a big deal for me and just brought my game to the next level, playing with men. And now I'm the captain of the men's club team at Brown currently. So that's a lot of fun. Plus, I also just, like, being part of the game, I am a linesman for Hockey East currently, which is really fun too.
It's so sick.
So it's amazing.
We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all that, but I want to go back first. We actually went to the Minnesota high school tournament this past season for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. Like, I could not believe how many people they packed the XL Center on a Thursday. It's Thursday at noon, and the place is packed. It looked like a national
Your school
holiday.
gets the day off. So, like, when we played in the state tournament, we were unseeded, and so we were kind of like, we were underdogs coming in, and we won that first game. It was at, like, noon on Thursday, and our whole school, like, bussed in. It was packed. It was the coolest thing I think, like, the best crowd I've ever played in front of, because it was like everyone you know from school is just, like, so fired up for you. Like, so much fun.
That was so funny, Eva. We went, and on the Thursday, like, those first games at noon, we're sitting in there walking around, and I literally turned to Chris and I go, these fucking kids go to school, or, like, what's going on here? And then people were like, no, they all have the day off. Like, and you forget how big Minnesota is. Like, some of these buses are coming from, like, 9 hours away for this thing. It was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
And the student section, everyone's in the corner, you know? They give you guys your own, like, little corner. So it's like every goal, just race to the corner, jump into the glass. It was epic. That was unreal.
So when you went down to Georgia Tech, were there any hesitations for you of joining a men's team, especially also in Georgia? Like, you know, it's not like it's you're in Minnesota. Everyone knows that girls play hockey and are amazing at hockey. You're down in Georgia playing at this massive school. Did you have any hesitations, or were you like, no, I love this, I'm obsessed with this, and I'm great, so let's get it?
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech was, like, my, like, dream school, right? Like, I knew I wanted to go to school for school. Like, I studied physics there. I am, like, very big into engineering. Like, I was like, I don't want to, like, go play, like, D3, try for, like, being bottom of D1, you know? Like, I was like, I want to go to school for school. And so when I found out that Georgia Tech had a hockey team, like, I was just like, okay, this is even better. Like, I want to play. And whenever I have, like, a goal, like, I just get after it. Like, I was like, okay, they've never had a girl before, but like my teammates all were like afraid to play against me in drills because I was the most physical girl on our team. I'm a very like aggressive, feisty little player. And so I was like, okay, that should help me like in a men's game, right? Like, and I know I was fast. I know that like my strong suit is just being a very stay-at-home defenseman. Like I was like, okay, I just have to like demonstrate that I have these skills, that like I am like very coachable. I'll take any feedback. Like I just want to play. And so I showed up to be on that team. And at first, like a lot of the guys were kind of like iffy about me, right? That they're like, okay, like who does this girl think she is? Like a lot of them from the South have never played with a girl before. Like that's just not a thing down there. And so I just very quickly kind of like showed my stuff, showed who I am, and that like I'm going to work harder than anybody else on this team, on and off the ice, to like be the best I can be. And so very quickly was just ingratiated into the team. And it was really funny. Like I just remember like after like the first like away tournament, I think we went and played at Auburn. Then the guys were like, hey, like, do you feel bad when we say like, let's go boys? Like, is there something else you want us to say? And I was just like, look at you guys trying to be inclusive. And I'm like, nah, man, like I'm part of the boys. And they're like, yeah, like this is your pack. Like, let's go. So really just showed me like, yeah, I'm one of them. And they never treated me any different after that. So it was great.
Oh, I love that.
Funny.
That is the right mentality, right? Like you're just one of the boys.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Was it? Yeah. And I think the answer is going to be no, but I wonder if it was an adjustment for, you were describing how it was an adjustment for them. Was it an adjustment for you at all because you come from a place where there is so much women's hockey? Because we grew up in a town in Maine, and there was a girl that played on our high school team, and she was nasty. She went to Minnesota, the Gophers. Like she was so good, but there just wasn't women's hockey where in my tiny beach town. So she had no choice. So she'd been playing with boys her whole life, right? It was like literally it wasn't until college that she was finally on a women's team. But you obviously had so much experience to be on a women's team. Were you nervous at all, being like, oh shit, I'm just gonna go play with the guys, or you didn't care?
I was nervous about the checking, I had not played checking hockey. That I switched over to girls hockey when checking hit. And so I was like, okay, this is gonna be new to me. But like I said, I'm a very physical player. I'm very strong, even though I'm 5'4", like I am very dense. Like I had like faith in myself, but like it was definitely an adjustment where the speed is so much faster, the physicality, it really forced me to step up my game. And ultimately, like that is what has made me the best player that I could be for myself. And so then when I went back and I played a couple games in like a college women's like summer league, after having played boys hockey for a few years, and oh my God, night and day difference. Like I was scared I was going to hurt people. Like I'm used to like bodying guys twice my size. I had to like quit the league because everybody hated me because I was so much faster. Like I'm a defenseman. I never score. I like was getting a hat trick every game, and I didn't know any of these girls, and they were all like, oh, like she thinks she's so good. And I was like, dude, I don't. Like I'm just, this is great to play against people my size. Like, so it was a huge adjustment that like ultimately made me a much better player. So I was really, really happy to have that. And I can't imagine going back to a non-checking game.
Yeah, I'm picturing laying people out open ice, just bang, and
just bundling girls in open ice.
No, these girls who were like a freshman in college, and I was at this point, like this was when I had come to my PhD here. So I'm what, 21 years old, and they're like 100 pounds soaking wet. I weigh like 145 pounds at this point, like, and I'm just like dense as hell. I barely touch someone, they go flying, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like,
it's like child abuse, just bundling these kids. I love it. How was the transition for you with playing and like this journey is so cool, playing with guys and all this, and then deciding you wanted to ref? When did that come about? I've actually been reffing since I was 13. Amazing job. Yeah. Amazing. Like when you're a hockey player, right? Like you have practice every day when you're in high school. All the time, hard to have like a normal like job at Wendy's, So reffing was great because it worked with my schedule. So I'd already be at the rink all the time. Why not hop on and do a few games? Get paid, so I did that from 13 up through like graduating high school. And then when I moved to the Northeast here, I got in touch with some of the coordinators around here and was then like scoped out by the supervisors for the NCAA leagues, which was great. And so I had a tryout and ultimately then was selected to work for Hockey East, which is like a big honor. They're the best of the best in this part of the country. So very, very proud of that. And just, it's amazing to get to work at high levels that I never got to play at. Like these are the best women's players in the country that I'm getting to drop pucks for. And I'm like, ice, like it's great.
What's your favorite call to make? Icing?
Yeah, good call.
Ice is kind of fun because you get to like yell it, and I use like my reffing voice, right? Where I'm like, ice, like you throw, that's pretty fun.
So
like, I mean, as a linesman, it's mostly offsides and icing, so I prefer that. I'm not big on calling penalties because I'm often too lenient on penalty calling.
God.
So I'm like, I think my role is liney.
That would be my problem too. There must have been, obviously we all are hockey players and there's nerves that come with that, the butterflies before games and everything. But I got to imagine you're getting butterflies before reffing too, because there's a lot of pressure in there. What's that like?
Yeah, my first Hockey East game was at Northeastern. They had the band in there. It's in Matthews, and it felt so like big, and I was scared shitless. Like I was like, I'm gonna like fuck this up somehow. I'm gonna like not drop the puck right, and it's gonna like do something terrible. I did actually in that game. I totally messed up a hybrid icing call and just kicked myself for the rest of the game and was like, they're never gonna assign me another game. I'm terrible. And so it is like, like you're so in your head. And you also have to remember, as a player, if you make a mistake, you get off the ice. You get to sit on the bench, and then you're like, okay, like let me reset, and I'll get back out there, do better. As a ref, you never get off the ice. Like you're just out there, and then you have to like deal with like, oh, I messed up, and now the coaches are mad at me for the next 20 minutes until the ZAM cut, and I'm like, I hate myself. So you're just going, and have to like lock in at all times. So it is definitely a different kind of grind.
Absolutely. And my God, people, especially in Stanley Cup playoffs, people are so mad at the refs all the time. And we always try to say, I'm like, do you have any idea how hard this is? The offside calls that refs make where I'm like, I'm all watching in super slow-mo and I'm like, wow, that was actually correct. I can't believe they nailed that. So I imagine that's a grind too for you when you're like, I don't know how you do it, just hawking the blue line like that. It must be insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny because for me, I'm a defenseman and I'm a linesman. And both of those things for me are very formulaic. Like I am not a creative player. I am not like, I'm a very like, this is the formula for how I stop someone from scoring a goal. Like this is what I do, where I need to be. That's how my brain works. Like I'm a very mathematical thinker. And same thing with lining. There are always, these are the spots you need to be in, be exactly on this line. You own this line. It is a formula and you follow that formula to a T to ref the game the best you can. Whereas if you're the ref, so you're calling penalties, you're more fluid, you're moving around. It's a very different kind of role that is more similar to like being the creativity you need as a forwards, where you're kind of like reading what's going on and how am I going to best handle this. So it's very different. And so that's kind of where I find that I fit best in with being a defenseman, being a linesman. So it's just kind of a unique thing that everyone finds like what role they fit better in. And of course I do ref games when I do like national tournaments and stuff too. So then I'm having to call penalties, but for the most part, I like for collegiate games doing lining.
Yeah. I love that. So for those who don't know, and you mentioned a little bit, you're at Brown, you're getting your PhD, you're a whiz with things like mathematics, physics, and stuff like that, in engineering, and then you're also so dialed into hockey like this, and you're working as a ref and a linesman. Where are we going here? What do you think? I mean, because I see how focused and in love with the game of hockey you are. I can't imagine you're just going to be dropping that anytime soon.
Agree.
So, what are your biggest passions right now? Where you think you're leaning towards?
Yeah, that is a really cool thing to bring up because I am near the end of my PhD, right? Where I'm thinking, okay, what am I doing next? And the work that I've been doing, I enjoy, but I'm not passionate about it the same way I'm passionate about hockey. And I've been wanting to find a way to kind of bring my love of the game, connecting that with my extreme background in physics and engineering. And so I'm looking at trying to get into the like sports engineering sphere, whether that's in doing R&D for sports equipment. Like would love to work for someone like Bauer or something like that. And I've had some meetings with women who work in their R&D headquarters in Montreal. And I'm like, their job is the coolest thing ever. Yeah. But also there's another element that people don't often think of, which is how we can improve the way the game is played by tracking data. So there's a lab at MIT that is called the MIT Sports Lab, where they're looking at creating flow models for how players and officials move throughout the game. So we can analyze things like, is the officiating system we're using, that formula I was talking about, is that the best way to manage the flow of a game? And so as a fluids engineer, I have a lot of experience with flow. And so that's something that I'd be really interested in getting in on like a research perspective and perhaps going into academia to try to like science out our game to be better based on all that tracking data that we now have access to in both the PWHL and the NHL. It's very cool stuff. So those are two things that I'm kind of like looking into for where I want to go when I graduate here.
I love that so much. That's kind of what I was leaning towards, because I imagined there was a crossover right here. But now learning that Eva's going to replace all refs with AI is kind of tough to hear.
Not replacing them with AI, but like seeing like, can we position the officials better? Can we change the system to make the best calls possible? Because that's like the number one thing the leagues are trying to get out of this data analysis is they're like, are we officiating the best we can? Because officials can make or break a game.
Definitely. It's so cool. It's such a good space to be in.
They do. There's a skate out here in LA where they it's a tryout for refs to go on and do AHL games and stuff like that. And I know you're right about that, because they have their whole map of like, here's where you are when the puck's here, here's where you are when the puck's here. And I've always wondered who made that up. Like, where did that come from? So this is a really cool idea to be like, is that the best it can be? Can we improve on that? I love this. I love this thought process.
Yeah, it's amazing. Before we transition away from hockey, I do want to ask, because I know you're a big Wild fan, how do you feel about the Kirill contract? How do you feel about the Wild in general right now?
Oh, okay. The Wild have let me down the last few years. I've been very sad with our performance. I feel like every year we get let down, because they'll have a great like regular season. You're like, okay, like things are going well, and then playoffs, and we're just like the new Leafs. Like, we just first round exit. It's so sad.
You literally, you just quoted me. Like last year.
Actually.
Yes, last year I was like, I think the Wild are the new Leafs, and we kind of dubbed them the Leafs of the West. Like people don't really talk about it, but they just lose in the first round. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like lower profile, because like the Leafs is a long-standing like meme in that way, and we're just kind of there. And I'm like, guys, we need to do better. But like with the Kirill contract, I think that's fantastic. I think we don't have another star player like that. We're not the kind of franchise that draws in these big star players. So I think giving him that kind of deal, showing him his worth, that we value him, hopefully that steps up his game. My one worry is that he is injury prone. And so I don't want us to see that we're paying this crazy amount of money to him and then it just going nowhere because he gets hurt halfway through the season. So that's tough. But I actually have a funny thing with the Wild for that I'm also excited for this season is Danilla Yurov. He came from the KHL this year. This is really funny. This is a crazy story. I helped him get drafted. Like, this is this is so ridiculous. So in January like 2022, I get a random DM on Instagram from an account that like is pretending to be Danilla Yurov. Like, I am nobody. I wasn't on Survivor at this point. I've got like 1,000 followers on Instagram. There's no reason that a KHL player would be DMing me. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Asking for nudes. Classic. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way this is real. But the thing is, the account looks really real. Like, the following ratio is good. Like, you got a handful of posts. Like, it has like 5,000 followers. And I was like, there's no way this is real, but like it looks real enough that people are probably falling for this. Like, this is bad. So I do a little digging, and I like find Danilla's actual account, which only has like 300 followers, no posts. And I'm like, I don't even know if this is him, but like, I'm going to let him know that somebody's doing this. And I send him screenshots, and I'm just like, hey, heads up. And he gets back to me in like his like broken English, like clearly only speaks Russian. And he's like, not me, agent will fix. I'm like, cool, good luck, man. Good. 6 months later, now we're right around the draft, right? Now real Danilo reaches out to me again, and he goes, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm like slotted to go in the first round of the NHL draft, but somebody filed a harassment case against me for this fake account, pretending to be me, asking girls for nudes. You are the only person who has proof that wasn't me. Can you write a testimony to the NHL on my behalf? And I was like, absolutely, anything you need. So I type up this whole thing, send it to Jared Maples, like chief security officer of the NHL. And he gets back to me. He's like, thank you. We will take this into consideration. So he's like having like a mini like trial within the NHL. And he's like in Montreal right before the draft. Like, it's like freaking out. And I'm like, hey, like, I'm sure it'll work out. Like, I sent all this stuff. Like, what teams are you talking to? And he's like, oh, like, I was predicted to go in like 11th or 12th, which would be like the Sabres-ish, but because I'm Russian, this was when there was that time where a lot of the Russian players were worried about being able to come back. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, because I'm Russian, I might fall a little bit. So I've talked to the Blues and the Wild. And I'm like, well, I'm a Wild fan, so I really hope you go to them. Then he goes 24th pick in the draft, the first round, to the Minnesota Wild. And while he's still at the draft, he like DMs me on Instagram. He's like, did you tell them to pick me? I'm like, I wish I had that kind of pull.
Yes, I did.
But just, yeah. So I've been like extremely invested in his career, and now he's finally here. And I'm like, without me, this man would not be in the NHL because some random person was taking advantage of the fact that he did not use his Instagram. So that's my crazy connection to Danilla Europe.
This is legitimately the craziest story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Unbelievable.
That is ridiculous. I mean, like, have you gone to a game yet? Like, I feel we need a picture of you two. Like, this is unbelievable.
I know. Yeah, no, he just had his first game the other night, and I watched that. I was like so pumped. I DM'd him after, and I was like, dude, I'm just so happy you finally made it here. Like, I've been like checking in with him while he's been in the KHL the last couple of years, just to be like, hey, remember me when you're famous. Like, it's just wild. So it's probably even wilder for him on his side. Yeah, that he now, like, because at that when, like, now he sees, like, I have, like, 150,000 followers on Instagram. I'm just, like, randomly famous. And he's like, who are you? Like, what? Like, you know, like, that's got to be so weird on his side. Yeah.
You guys, in such a strange way, Eva, you guys have both watched each other come up. Like, it's ridiculous. This is remarkable. This is truly like
that's the craziest thing.
The combination of some asshole taking advantage of a fake Instagram, you being an internet sleuth, and then him getting drafted by your hometown team is preposterous. This is so funny.
I know. It's like storybook. God. It's just so funny. And it's ridiculous to me that I was just like literally typing up a thing with all the screenshots, the messages this guy sent, like, and everything to the NHL. Like,
holy hell. Let me tell you what, I knew this was going to be a fun conversation. Did not expect this type of a story.
Dude, and you just never you never think anyone's going to see your DMs, and next thing you know, you're screenshotting them to the NHL, and you're like, God, I'm so glad I reacted appropriately at this moment.
Oh my God. That is
no,
crazy.
and the thing was, when I like looked at this account too that was pretending to be him, all of the people it was following were girls, and a lot of them were hockey girls too. Like, it specifically was like, I was like, oh, like, who's going to be interested in the fact that this is a KHL player? Probably some girl who plays hockey. Like, they were thinking, and it definitely worked on people because, like, the fact that it had so many followers and that, like, there was this whole harassment charge against this Danilla. Like, it was just so sad. So that just shows, like, you need to get that blue check mark, like, ASAP if you're anywhere near that, because that's, like, without me, like, I don't know where he'd be. So, I mean,
correct.
You're a hero. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even want to leave talking about hockey now after that, but I mean, I feel like everyone would lose their minds if we don't talk about Survivor.
Yeah, and honestly, your whole life, Eva, for sure. So actually, let's start with this. You get your diagnosis, right? And can you just elaborate on what it is meant to you to have been told what you were told at the beginning of your life and to have lived the life you have so far? And if you don't mind, just the messaging, because I thought that was so important. How you're like, nothing is wrong with me. This is, and using your platform to get that out. I think that's just incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I was diagnosed when I was just around a year old, so very, very early. And doctors told my parents that I would never hold a job, I would never live independently, that, like, at most they could hope that I would marry somebody who else had autism. And, like, and my parents were just like, we're not just going to give up on the life of our child. Like, we're going to put everything we have into getting her the help she needs. And so I went through so many different types of therapy. Like, I was doing physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and all of these things, like, I have no recollection of. Like, I was so young that it's just, I've just been the way I am my whole life. But it had a huge impact on me. And an additional thing that really impacted me as a kid was starting playing hockey, actually, because at that age, that was when I was going through all this therapy. And hockey was a way to help me apply the skills I was learning in therapy to something that I enjoyed. And it forced me to socialize with kids because I didn't know how to interact with my peers. And so my mom always like attributes to that I showed a huge growth once I started playing hockey. And so that's also why like I love the sport so much, is because it really like helped me become who I am today. And I really just went through my life with my parents always telling me that there was nothing wrong with me, that autism was just part of who I am, and it's going to give me some challenges that are different than other people, but it also is going to give me strengths. And so that's kind of how I've always seen it. And it wasn't until I was in middle and high school that I found out how other people viewed people with autism. And that kind of just like hit me like a truck, that it was like, oh, wow, like people think that this is something bad. Like they don't understand. And nobody knew that I had autism unless I told them. And so it was kind of, for a while, I kind of kept it close to my chest, that I was like, oh, like, is this something weird? Like, I know that I'm different than those around me. I know I don't pick up on social cues. I know that I get way more intense and fixated on things. Like, is this bad? But ultimately, like, as I've grown and really heard the words of my parents, of the people around me, that like they love me for who I am, I just totally want to share that with others, that it is never something wrong with you, that yes, it's going to give you challenges. And I have my own challenges in so many ways that come from my autism, but all of my successes in my life would not have happened without for my autism as well. So I going on Survivor and then sharing this message has really changed my life, has changed the lives of so many people in ways that I never expected. And so I am just so very proud to get to say something that just seems so easy to say, right? That it's like, oh, like autism is not something wrong with you, but just those words alone have changed the lives of so many, because so many people believe that it is something terrible when it's not. It's just another thing that impacts who I am, and I'm proud of it.
Absolutely, as you should be. I'm so glad that you say that, because you should feel proud. And it is really remarkable to see. It's like you just said, when you take ownership of something, it doesn't become as challenging, and it doesn't control what you do, because now you're in the driver's seat. And it's amazing the way that you've done it. Do you think that so much of this and your strength and your confidence in yourself has kind of forced you to take on even more challenges? Because it does feel like you look at things like this as just a reason to go, well, you know what? I'm going to do this next challenge and prove people wrong, because nothing's going to hold me back.
Yeah, it's not even like, oh, I'm going to prove people wrong. It's I want to do that, so I'm going to do it. Like, same thing with going and trying to play men's hockey in Georgia. It was just like, that's what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. And I think some of that, like the not recognizing social cues, the just being fixated on things, like that's why I'm able to just go after that, because sure, people probably looked at me weird for like trying out for this team and being so tiny and whatever on the ice, but like I don't see that. Like, it goes over my head. I'm not aware of these cues that other people give off that might make someone else self-conscious. I'm just like, this is what I want, so I'm gonna get it. And like going on all of my platforms, going on national television, just speaking these words that of something that I'm so like just feel so strongly in my heart, you know, like that's something that other people might like frown on. They're like, oh, like that's weird, whatever. But no, like it's something so important to me. And I think it is just, like I want to go after that next challenge. I want to be the best me I can be. And I want to help make the world a better place as I'm going along that journey, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. God. I love it.
And I want to ask about Survivor, because funnily enough, my girlfriend's sorority sister, really good friend, is on the season right now. So it's been fun watching that.
Wait, who is it?
It's Sophie, but there's two Sophies. She's the one in the yellow tribe, not the blue tribe. Like the one in the blue tribe.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she was our alternate.
Oh no! Way.
She was on our season.
She tried out the year before too. Yeah, that's right. 100%.
Yes,
so, yeah,
she was there.
So it's been crazy because Sandra's been like that. Like I'm best friends with her, you know, and it's nuts watching her.
Oh my God.
But one thing I wanted to ask you, because I've been so invested in watching this. You obviously have your mega viral moment, right, during the immunity challenge and with Joe when you tell everybody the whole story. It must be crazy. I think it's impossible for us watching Survivor. We know it's intense and everything, but it must be crazy to be in that actual moment and having the challenges of the game, the cameras everywhere, you're mic'd up, having an episode because you're so overstimulated and emotional. Joe there, like, how was that actually for you in real time? Mm-hmm. Of course, the video is amazing and I'm crying and everybody's crying, but in the moment, what was that like for you?
Yeah, I think they did a really great job capturing that and the emotions that were involved, because it really was this kind of like very quick up, quick down kind of episode where I got overstimulated very quickly. Like you saw, the first part of the challenge was fine, right? Where we get through that, we're grinding, we're doing really well. And because it's just like we've done a million challenges. But the thing that gets me is that we come to that table maze, and when I am not succeeding in something, I will get kind of stuck in this cycle in my head. And that happens from getting overstimulated in other ways as well. But like here, I just kept failing on the table maze over and over, and my brain got stuck in this loop and I couldn't get out of it. And now everybody's yelling at me. It's hot, where there's so much energy, and just it's so intense. And I am just trying so hard to focus on this maze, and I keep failing. And you can see like I have to release this intensity somehow. So I'm kind of like yelling at myself, and I'm just like screaming and swearing a little bit while we're doing the challenge. Everyone's like, no, it's okay, you got this. And they just think that it's just normal, like intensity of the moment. Right? They don't understand that there's something else going on in my brain, because nobody else on that beach knew that I had autism other than Joe. And so when we get to that moment where I succeed, I finish the table maze, and you think that it's like, oh, okay, now like you get to relax, it's chill, it's fine. No, like for me, I have had all of this building for so long that now it has to explode. And so I start screaming and screaming, and I'm completely ungrounded. And this happens in my life, and it's happened so many times, but nobody else had seen that there yet. So they don't know what's going on. They just are like, oh, like, is she okay? Like, what's happening? Joe is the only person who understood that I was not having a panic attack. I was not like having an anxiety attack. Like, no, like I was just overstimulated. And so he was able to jump in with the exact help that I needed, because I advocated for myself early on. And that's what's really, really important. And is the big success here is that I had advocated, and in the first few days of the game, for myself, in telling Joe that if something like this were to happen, here are the things you can do to help me. And that's what's really important for people with autism to recognize too, is that advocating for yourself is what can help you have success. And so he then stepped in, he gave me the help I needed, and I was able to come down out of it. And it's not to say that I couldn't have come down out of it by myself. Like I have my own strategies that I use, but it comes down much quicker when I have help from somebody else. And so it was just a very beautiful moment. And then I had the opportunity to then speak about my life and what had happened to everybody. And I truly just believe that like God was working through me in that moment, because I don't know how I was able to speak so eloquently on something like there was no break there. Like it was like okay, we're done now. Like, do you want to talk about it? And it's like, there was no like rest. So it was a very beautiful moment overall. And I'm just so glad that it has reached so many people to have an impact in our world.
And maybe you can't tell us this because it's TV secrets, but did Jeff, like when Jeff asks you, do you want to tell what's going on? Had you told him I'm ready to talk about it? Or was he just like, if you want, go ahead?
So Jeff was aware that I had autism. All of the like producers, everyone part of the crew, they all knew. It's just like the people in the tribes don't know. And so Jeff, he did not ask me prior if it was okay to talk about.
Really?
They knew from all my interviews. Yeah, they knew from my interviews going in, like that I am very open about talking about it and stuff. So they knew it wasn't like some big secret that he was trying to like pull out of me. It was just I had expressed to them that I wasn't going to share it in the game, because gameplay wise, someone could take advantage of me. Because it's like, if they know that I can't pick up on when someone's lying, then they're just going to lie to me. It was, So he was aware that like I'm comfortable talking about it. And so then him just, he just opened it up and was like, do you want to explain what happened? Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, it was
so
incredible.
amazing.
Yeah,
it's
it was
just
so
such
powerful.
a good moment. And it's like the way you handled it was so beautiful. And the way it, like you said, that it's touched so many people is the greatest thing that could have happened from it. So it's just such an amazing situation that you found yourself in that's turned into such a beautiful thing. Overall, I mean, you did so well, obviously, which is fantastic. Overall, I don't think people realize that, you know, we talk about unscripted TV all the time, and we always go like this, it's unscripted. There's a lot of things that are set up, but I don't think a lot of people realize how grueling Survivor really is. You clearly are a person who loves a challenge. You love being competitive. You love competing. Overall, did you love this experience? Was it harder than you thought it might be? Was it more fun than you thought it might be? What was the sort of big picture takeaway for you?
It was so much everything more than I thought it was going to be. Like it was, I had like a picture in my mind. Like I went into this being like, oh, it's a sporting event. Like I'm going to train for sports. Like I didn't like think about as much like the relationships you would build out there. I didn't really like fully understand the physical toll that like losing all that weight takes on you. Like I went into this game, I had bulked up more than anything in my life. Like I was weighing like I think I was 151 pounds when I entered the game. I was like bench pressing 170. Like I was big, and I lost 25 pounds in 26 days,
Good God
which
almighty.
was so hard on my body. And that just and then again and again, like losing these challenges, how does that take a psychological toll on you when just day in and day out you're losing and losing and you're losing weight and you're just feeling like shit all of the time, and the only thing you have are these other people who are also trying to vote you out of this game. Like it's so intense in so many ways, but it also, I made the closest friends of my life. Like Joe is someone who is a family member to me. Like that was a connection that I never would have expected. And Kyle is legitimately my brother. Like we call almost every day. Like I talked to him this morning. Like I went to his wedding and I like bawled because I was just like so, and his wedding was like 2 weeks after we got back from the islands. Like it's such an amazing experience. And when you say like, oh, it's unscripted, no, it truly is like all just, you are doing whatever you want to do. Like nothing is written out for you. You have the ability to make your own choices, do the game how you want to do it. And I think I did it in a very unique way for the game of Survivor, where I played by having this team that I worked with to the end. And that team are people that I've carried through into my real life that I'm very, very close with and love.
It's the best.
That's so cool.
It's the best. Do you think that you're in it now? Like you're in the Survivor world? You want to go back when they do some of like the, like the group challenges where what is it? Like with heroes and villains was a thing once, like, or is this something you want to do forever?
I mean, I definitely want to go back because I didn't win. Like I'm so competitive. I got so close. Like second place is not good enough. I want to win, and I love Kyle. I'm so proud of him for winning. Like, but I'm just like, part of me is like, man, like what? Like there's not anything I would have changed about my gameplay, but there are things I would have changed about that final tribal council and how I spoke about it. And obviously, like it's an edited show, so you guys didn't get to see all the stuff that I was doing and whatever. Like we all get our edits in this way or that. So I do get frustrated with myself that I'm like, oh, I was so close. Like I could have won. And so, I want to go back. I want to do it again. I want to try to win. And so I would love to get any chance to go back out there. And I have heard that they are going to be doing some returning seasons coming up. I know 50 is obviously a returning season, but beyond that, there are talks of some ones coming up here in the mid 50s, which is, I'm really hoping that they invite me.
Okay. I like
it. I love that too. That's fantastic. Well, I can't begin to describe how fun this has been. Like truly, like I said, I knew it was going to be amazing, but I could have never guessed this much. Before we let you go, I want to give you the platform. If there's anything that you've got going on, anything you're working on that you need people to know about, want people to know about, tell the people what you've got going on in your life.
Yeah, I actually do have a really exciting thing coming up with the NHL. I am going to be an ambassador for Culture City, which is the sensory partner of the NHL. And they provide sensory support at games in bags where you can get headphones, you can get fidget toys, sunglasses to help people who might get overstimulated from the environment that a game presents. And they also, at many different arenas, wow, I can't even talk. At many different arenas have different sensory rooms where you can go to kind of calm down from an event. And so if you're someone like me who gets overstimulated and you might have an episode of some sort, kind of like me, if you want to take a step away, you can go into those kind of rooms. And so I'm going to be working as ambassador for them coming up here starting in January. And so I'm super excited for that, to kind of just spread the word that there are these assists out there so that people who of any background can enjoy hockey. Like hockey is for everyone, and you should be able to attend games, whether you have a sensory issue, you have an invisible disability, you have autism like me, anything like that, you're still welcome at an event and there's support for you. So that's something I'm really pumped about going forward here. So that's with Culture City.
That is so cool. I'm so glad that you got hooked up with them to do that. And another reason the NHL is the best, because I can't think of anyone better to help spread the word about that. And that is such a cool thing. And speaking of January, we were saying,
yes,
the Wild are here playing the Kings January 3rd and 5th. So we're gonna get you out here to come to a game with us and come see crypto.com, because that has to happen.
Hell yeah. I would love that. Let's do it.
We need this. We need a split though. Like, let's get the Kings a win and the Wild a win, and then everyone will be happy. That'd be great.
I don't know about that. I think I'd be happy with the Wild.
I think we gotta give her both. I think we gotta give her both. So yeah, if you're off, if you've got that time off from break or whatever, that's a no.
Yeah.
We gotta do it.
Agreed.
No, let's do it. I am going to be attending the Winter Classic, but that's on the 2nd.
Yeah, same.
Hey, we're there as well.
Culture City Center. Oh, awesome. We'll have to link up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll just bring you back from
I think
from
that's actually what
Florida.
we should
It'll be
do.
perfect.
Yeah, we'll just fly right out.
Great.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. We'll set this up.
Come on.
Well, Eva, thank you so much for coming on. Seriously, this has been a blast. Can't wait to see everything that you got going on. We'll have to have you back on soon when the Wild make it to round 2.
Exactly.
Yes.
We'll be in there.
Yes. Please don't jinx it.
I won't.